What's up guys, it's your boy Ibrahim. Welcome back to a brand new video. I appreciate everyone that subscribed, and if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, because I will be bringing you guys new videos every Sunday, every week, with different topics and whatnot. And if you guys want to get the notifications for my new videos, you guys can. Make sure you guys turn your notifications on, and yeah. So for this video, I want you guys to ask yourself, would you really marry yourself? Would you marry someone that came in the package that you're in? Would you marry someone that had the same traits as you, the same characteristics as you? A lot of us are walking around with a long list of things. We've created a list for ourselves that might have, gotten bigger over the years, or it might have took a different turn over the years. But nevertheless, we have a list of what we want in a partner. And sometimes we fail to ask, do we really fit this list that we've created for ourselves? Can you look at that list and say, I fit everything that I've listed here? That I fit everything that I'm looking for? Can someone look at the list and look at you and say, oh, this person is not asking for a lot because they really resemble everything that they've listed? Can someone do that? Can you do that? So it's important to ask yourself, do I meet everything that I've listed here? Because a lot of us, and I have several friends, and I was like that in the beginning of things, where I would have a list of things that I'm looking for. I want this person to have this, I want this person to have that. And sometimes if I really take the time to evaluate it, and you place that list on the wall or place that list on the mirror and say, does this really describe me? Am I this type of person? I'm looking for someone whose religious meter is, off the charts. I want, for example, for a guy, he might say, I want a niqabi. For a girl, she might say, I want, a guy who's very practicing, who's in the masjid all the time. He looks like someone who follows the sunnah, and this and that, this and that. But can you really look at yourself and say, am I that type of person? For the sister, can she say, I am where he is at? Am I close to the masjid? Am I a person of the Quran? Am I someone who is following the sunnah? Am I the one, someone who is learning from the deen and incorporating that into my life? Like, am I that type of person to be, requesting this? Am I, the type of person that I'm looking for? Am I that type of person? So some people might even put down all the superficial things, like for a girl, she might say, I want a 6 feet tall guy. I want a muscular guy. I want, someone who really appeals to me, who has, some type of a look to them. They have, they have the best eyes or the best smile, this and that, this and that. But can you, as a sister, can you say, hey, I'm also where, he's at. Like, I also have these kind of traits. I also have a good smile. I also have, this type of eye, this type of, I understand there are certain things that it might be attractive to you that you may not possess. I get that part. Sometimes you also have to think about what you're asking for, because you might, be that type of person that, a 6 feet tall guy, muscular guy may not be looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be looking too far from what you can really attain, from what you can really realistically attain. I'm not saying don't make a list of what you really want, that you hold yourself to that standards, because this is not a matter of internal, this is not a matter of mental things that you possess, that you can want more than that. You can want a better person than you. But at the end of the day, what I'm implying is, if something is so superficial to where now you've used this situation, or you've used these traits to say, I want this type of person, sometimes you really have to think about it and be like, hey, am I like biting more than I can eat? Am I really, barking on the wrong tree? Not to say that you don't have all the beautiful things going for yourself in a different way, but you also have to be real with yourself, and you can't put your wants in front of your needs. I've seen a lot of people, and I've got a lot of friends who really, have so many wants. They want this, that are so superficial, that are so like, it's like, wow, bro, come on, like, you can't really look for these things. You could look for these things, and I can let you look for these things, but if if you're real with yourself, these things really take a lot of time to get a hold of. So I've seen a lot of people put their wants, their superficial wants, in front of their needs. And all that does is it delays you finding what you really need as opposed to what you really want. Because what you need is a marriage material, right? You need a husband material. You need a wifey material. You need someone who really understands the responsibility that they're getting themselves into. You want someone who understands, what they're getting into from the deen perspective. You want someone who is mature. You want someone who is practicing certain things that are needed to make a marriage function, that are needed to make sure that you guys can communicate on the same wavelength. So a lot of people really forget about their needs, especially when they're making that list. They think about all the things that satisfies their desires, that satisfies their eyes, and sometimes it's not the eyes that makes the marriage work. It's what's in their heart. It's what they possess that is of the deen, is what they possess that are qualities that really make a marriage work, like a family quality, like a family oriented person. You might like a sense of humor, and I can't knock that down because a lot of people really enjoy, they're very goofy, they're very, goofy in a very positive limelight, right? Like they're very funny, they joke around a lot. So they want someone who's very open like that, who's very expressive, who's joking, who has a lot of sarcasm. So that's totally fine. So it's very important to understand what you put on that list, because sometimes we take that list mentally, and every person that we see, we hold them up to that list that we've made, and that list really grows the more you think superficial. But the more you think reality, the more you think about what really makes a marriage work, the shorter that list becomes. Believe it or not, I'm like a testimony to that. Growing up, I've had that list of like, I want this type of person, I want that type of person. The more I sat back and thought about what things do I really need, the shorter and shorter and shorter that list became. Because now I was thinking more of, of a future oriented type of person, as opposed to something that was like so superficial that I could have lived without. Don't get me wrong, you should make a list of your non-negotiables, things that you really cannot negotiate, things that you really need in a partner, because this is what works for you. And you should also understand that, as much attraction as you need, sometimes attraction grows with time. Sometimes attraction grows in a marriage. So sometimes you may not have what you physically may want, you may not have what you might desire superficially, and sometimes you may not have it now, but let's say you wanted a guy who had a masculine, who was muscular. Sometimes you can bring that out of a person, right? You can work with a person and say, hey, like, let me see if I can sort of, try to shape this person into someone that may fit this list, that really I can't ask for it right now, but this person is really positive, he's focused, he really wants the same thing, and he may not give it to you today, but he might be into fitness and might be working towards that. So that's something that you also have to think about. And some people are looking for someone that they're not. How do you expect God to bless you with someone that you're really not? How do you expect Allah to bless you with someone who is of a religious caliber, or who is at a different level when it comes to respect, when it comes to certain things that this person possesses? How do you expect Allah to sort of guide you to that person if you are not moving in that direction, or if you don't see any the need to want to improve to become a person like the person that you're looking for? Because sometimes what you put out into the world is what you'll get. So a lot of us are sitting there making a list of a great person, but they themselves are not making the step towards becoming that great person that this person can be with. And another thing I wanted to mention is your blessing may come in a different package, because the way Allah works and the way you work is not the same. You might have an ideal list of you might have an ideal list of what you're looking for, but sometimes Allah may give you a person, or may bring to you a person who fits everything that you need and not necessarily everything that you want. And that's where you have to really think about what's really important to you, because a lot of us are receiving the blessings of Allah, but we're pushing it to the side, or we're ignoring it because it doesn't fit the ideal picture that we've set out for ourselves. And that happens a lot. Believe it or not, it really happens a lot. You know, I've seen a lot of friends, and I'm talking from experience, I want you guys to know that. I've seen a lot of friends who really, you know, wouldn't give a chance to a great person. You know, I've seen a lot of guys who really look at a girl and they say, you know what, she's not, you know, she's not what I'm looking for. She doesn't have the body, she doesn't have the look, she doesn't have this, she doesn't have that. But, you know, this person may be the best person for him. You know, this person may bring out so many things that he may be good at. It may highlight some of the things that he may be good at, or might have improved, you know, like may improve his situation today of where he wants to be. Maybe she might get him to where he wants to be. Maybe this is someone that Allah has sent to sort of, you know, compliment you, to take you to that level that you want to go to. So that's something to really think about, because we're over here, you know, rejecting and refusing so many people that don't fit the ideal list. But the way Allah works and what we truly need in our heart is totally different. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys appreciated this video. I just want to reiterate that it's okay to have a list. You know, it's fine, but just make sure that whatever it is that you're looking for, make sure that's something that you possess. And I know there's certain attractions, like I said, there's certain attractions that you may not possess that you're looking for, and it's okay to want that, but make sure that you're not wasting time, you know, looking for just that and ignoring everything else that you really need for a marriage to work. Because a lot of us really have that weakness that we're looking for the perfect thing, and not realizing that we're not perfect. You know, we can never be perfect. So looking for a list of things that you set out for yourself, I would say, you know, err on the side that things could be different. And for those of you who really have shortened that list to what you really need, as opposed to all the superficial things that you really don't need, then have patience, you know, because as much as we want to step into that direction, as much as we want to get married, you know, this is the decree of Allah. You know, Allah will bring someone for you. Allah will guide you to that person. And if Allah decrees that, you know, you stay in this position that you're in today, then make the most of it. You know, make sure you continue to worship Allah, make sure you continue to do good, because this is not the only way to Jannah, and this is not the only way to be happy with life, to enjoy yourself, because you've been enjoying yourself all these years, you've been living all these years. So just continue to do that, inshallah, and you know, Allah may bring someone your way, or Allah may give you the reward equivalent to being with a person, all the deeds that you could have gotten by being with a person. You know, Allah may reward you for that. So Allahu Alam. That's it, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you didn't, you know what I'm saying, give me some suggestions, give me any topics you guys want me to discuss, and I'll jump right into it. Until next time, deuce.